It's no secret at this point that the Minnesota Vikings have a knack for drafting impressive running backs. Guys like Adrian Peterson, Dalvin Cook, and Chuck Foreman were or are some of the best running backs of their time. But amongst the big names, there's some backups who never got their time to shine and remain synonymous with the words average or backup. You think of guys like Chester Taylor, Darren Nelson, Matt Asiata, Mewelde Moore, and many others. One name that tends to get left out of any Vikings conversation is the name of Toby Gerhart. With the success that Gerhart had in college, it continues to be a mystery regarding why he doesn't come up in more of these conversations. For those of you who don't know, Toby Gerhart attended Stanford University. While his first 2 seasons were far from notable, his junior and senior years are what put his name on the map. Scouts started taking notice when Gerhart ran for over 1,100 yards and 15 touchdowns in his junior year. He followed that up with a crazy senior campaign. Gerhart put himself squarely in the Heisman conversation, running for 1,871 yards and 28 touchdowns on the ground. Unfortunately for Gerhart, Mark Ingram put up poorer numbers and stole the award from him in the closest Heisman race in history. It really does pay to play for Alabama. That crazy season, paired with his past seasons and numerous awards, gave Gerhart a resume fitting of a first-round selection. But Gerhart had to wait until day 2 to hear his name called, when he was selected in the second round with the 51st overall pick by the Minnesota Vikings. Now, no one expected Gerhart to come in and make any major noise, especially not with a guy like Adrian Peterson running the show. Gerhart was the definition of a serviceable backup, putting up a little over 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns in his 4-year stint with the Vikings. He had his fair share of impressive runs, with his most notable coming late in the Week 14 matchup in 2013 against the Baltimore Ravens. With multiple lead changes and more than 20 combined points coming in the final 2 minutes, it felt like every player was getting in on the action, including Gerhart. After his rookie deal was up, Gerhart ended up finding his way to the Jacksonville Jaguars, where he signed a 3-year, $10.5 million contract in March of 2014. After 2 seasons of little to no production for the Jaguars and an untimely trip to the injured reserve list, Gerhart was released in March of 2016. 2015 was the last time he touched an NFL field. According to his LinkedIn, since leaving the league, Gerhart has gotten into being an analyst on the Pac-12 network, as well as some work as an investment banking associate for Piper Jaffray. The most recent thing you can find on Gerhart is that he was an MBA candidate for the Stanford School of Business back in 2020. Good for you, Mr. Gerhart. Go get that education. This has been a Skull Network production. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I'll see you guys all in the next video.